Well, good evening. Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. Yes, I'm Milesy, and we have got a very interesting show for you this evening. I swear the club sorted out for us, and they announce all these announcements when we're about to go on air, which is absolutely brilliant. We have our first signing of the summer, and we've got some information on him. Our Jack Stat, he has got us some information, which we will get straight to very, very shortly. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Norman Bassett. Is he off? Is he about to leave? Who knows? We just don't know. Have you joined the journey as well to the CBS, to the city? Have you bought your season tickets? And we'll be showing you a few pictures later on, some great designs again from Covcept. We'll be talking about those. And we've got a new guest tonight. It's his debut with us. He's always on CWR, and he falls over a lot, apparently, which we'll find out a little bit about Ben later on. Ben Taylor will be joining us as well. So we've got a packed house tonight, and big congratulations to, before we go any further, a big congratulations to Haji Wright and his wife. They got married yesterday, bless them. Look at her, she looks really happy. I bet she ain't that happy when she's in Leamington, but that's in LA, and you're going to be happy living out there, aren't you, at the moment? So fair play to them, and congratulations to Haji and his partner. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So let's hope he can start banging a few more goals in, just like he did for the USA the other night. So let's get the team in then. First of all, let's bring in Jack the Stat. Good evening, Jack.
Evening, Milesy.
Evening. We're bringing Victoria. Good evening, Victoria.
Evening.
Evening. And Claudio. Good evening, Claudio.
Good evening, Miles. I hope everyone's well and nice and warm.
He's gone all oh, very warm. It's lovely. I love this weather. It's brilliant, but I know I'm going to be sweating in my sweatbox tonight. And let's bring in Ben. Good evening, Ben. Ben Taylor from Rugby. How are you, Ben?
Not too bad. Like Claudio, a little bit on the tepid side. I'm finding new places to sweat from at the moment.
I love this weather. Well, thanks for joining us, and we're looking forward to hearing all your stories a little bit later on in the show. But we do have to start the show with our first signing of the season. It is Miguel Angel Brau. There you go. He has officially signed for Coventry City this evening, and this is what he has to say. He says, "It is a great honour for me to be joining Coventry City. I can't wait to put on the sky blue shirt and play for this great club in front of the fans. I know we will enjoy a lot of success together." Now, that is that's nothing. You wouldn't expect anything less, really, from a new signing to be coming in very positive and, have a script to be saved. We're going to come straight to Jack, because, Jack, you have some information about Miguel.
Yeah, not a lot. He's only been around about 4 years, so he's still a new kid on the block. He's still young. He's only 23. That can only be positive if we've got him on a 4-year contract, let's say. But he came through at Granada. He made 51 appearances for Granada B before having a loan to Talavera. Apologies if I've said that wrong. Played a season there, 2 goals from left back, not bad. And last season spent the season at Granada first team, who are in the Spanish second division, 27 appearances and again 2 goals. So he's playing about 50% of the games for Granada. I don't really know if that's injury based or just squad selection based. So we'll wait and find out whether he's one of these that picks up a 3-game injury every 3 games. We'll never know, but we've currently got the cover as well, so we'll see who moves on out of Bidwell and De Silva if either do. But he's a taller prospect than both De Silva and Bidwell, although it wouldn't be hard to be taller than De Silva, would it? Let's be honest. So he could potentially, so he's 6 foot, he could potentially offer us a bit of threat in the air, which is a welcome, especially when, we've been relying on De Silva in the last sort of 6 to 10 games of the season, putting in performances. If Brau can do that and he's a foot taller than De Silva, then, it's only a good thing. So hopefully a young player that we can keep for a few years to come. and hopefully he can cement his place in the starting 11 very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I come to you, Ben. I mean, to have this signing today, I mean, I think this rumour was coming around towards the end of the season anyway about this guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, around
but,
April,
I mean,
May
the
time,
first signing under Frank. Yeah, it was. It was like probably the worst kept secret in football, apart from Norwich signing Bristol City's manager. But I mean, it's Frank Lampard's first signing. This summer's going to be very interesting. What do you make to this?
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't probably the first position I thought we really needed strengthening in. It does make you wonder which one out of the two are going to go out of Bidwell and De Silva. I kind of almost see De Silva, he could not replace, but he could come in for, he's very good going forward. He's got that bit of pick it up on the half turn and get up the pitch. He could almost be a Mason Clark or fill in at a number 10. He's quite sort of adaptable in that way. But like we're saying, he's tall for a left back. He's 6 foot. So he gives you that bit of height, bit more presence probably than what De Silva gives you, because he does come across as a bit lightweight and people do target him. And when you've got a bit of a unit that you're coming up against, you tend not to, that flank is then cut off because you can't pop that ball over the head, because if he's got pace as well, if he's tall and with pace, and he's going to be a good fit, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, Claudio, he is not our first Spaniard, though, is he?
No, we've had 4 beforehand. A guy called Aldecoa, 1945-46, and a chap called Bill Bauer followed him. We've had Vicente Ngonga, a guy called Rubles, who was a keeper and never played, and now we've got Mr. Brow. So be interesting, wouldn't it? The thing is, if he's better than the other two, that's all that has to happen. It's an improvement. And at 23, I don't think he's coming to sit on the bench. That's not that young nowadays, is it, really? I'm expecting him to be starting ahead of the other two, if he's any good, of course. And to be honest, it wouldn't take much.
You kind of hope he comes in and hits the ground running. You don't want another Marcel Hilsner on your hands, do you? That's the...
He looked like Hilsner, he looked like he had a few Pilsners, didn't he? Like,
yeah.
So out of condition, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked overweight as well.
Yeah.
And he was crap. So
yeah, which is probably why I think he's back in German third division, I think, at the moment, if my memory serves me correctly.
It's probably been on the bar or something, serving, because it wasn't a good sign.
Well, Frank's already been on it. Look, here he is. He's on the old sign, Miguel. So he's already on the beers, bless him, old Frank. Vicky, what do you make to this? It's Frank's real first signing. I don't know how many more are going to come through the door this summer, because the transfer window opened early, it closed and it's opened again. I mean, what do you make to it? Let's get your views, because you're the level-headed one of all of us. You keep us on level ground sometimes.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, like Ben said, it's probably not the first position that you were looking that we needed to work on, but it's been a poorly kept secret for months now. And don't forget about Grimes as well, just for Frank's first signing technically. This is his second one, isn't it? But it's an interesting one, because the same as Jack, I had a bit of a look at his stats. See what I could say about him. He seems very popular with the Granada fans on social media. They seem to like him, and that's always a good sign. But he hasn't played a whole lot of games for his age. So he must have been somebody that we've spotted and then been following, because it's not like the sort of player where you think that he's done anything to stand out specifically. So it looks like it's maybe one of these ones that we've done in the past where we've spotted somebody and brought them in and expected a bit, I suppose, someone a bit like Heyman. They wouldn't knew anything much about him before he came in, did they? So on that basis, it's hopefully something positive. And so just really echo what the lads have said as well. It's a bit of height at that position, and hopefully something a bit different. and just an improvement can only be good, can't it?
Yeah, definitely can. And like Ben was saying as well, it makes you wonder who's going to go out the door, doesn't it, Vic? Is it going to be Bidwell, who's signed a new contract, didn't he? He signed in January, I think it was. He signed a new contract. Yeah. Or is it they signed the contract, they think they'll tie him down and then maybe they'll get a bit of money for him? Is it De Silva that is going to be, like Ben said again, that he could move forwards and give cover for, on the left-hand side for Hadji Wright or, F1 Mason Clark? You just don't know the thinking behind it. The thing I'm most worried about, we haven't got any cover at right back still.
Oh, yeah.
We've only got old Milan.
So, even less so now. Burrows has gone as well.
You would think. Yeah. So you would think really right back is the more key position we really need to start thinking about, because it is one of those that as soon as Milan gets injured, who slots in there? Because I'm not too sure about I whine Claudio up all the time about Latibodio being a Jamaican international. He's an international. That's it. That's all that matters, doesn't it? So,
and you've got Eccles in there, haven't you?
Right, let's get straight to some comments. Right, yeah, Eccles is brilliant. I love Eccles at right back. I think he's.
Yeah, I'd like him at right back. I prefer him at right back than I do in centre midfield.
Just saying though, on the right back point, he's never played right back. Played right wing back. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right, on to comments. Jordan Williams.
Okay.
Jordan Williams.
He's still played right back.
Jordan Williams could sing Granada, couldn't he? Because that's the old. Yeah. I shan't do that tonight. It's evening mates. They are. Mick. Lots of evenings from Mick Davenport. Paul Cutterford says, "I see your banner says you are live tomorrow, June the 20th. Are we?" Oh well, Ben Green, evening all, Ian Small, evening all, Nation Radio, evening all as well. Mick Davenport, that sounds a bit scripted. Don't know what that was. Wayne Littlewood, evening all, nice to have a signing and spending a fortune. Let's hope it works out. Paul Cutterford, a new signing. It's never a bad thing. We just need 6 or 7 more. Mick Davenport says, we've got to get a goalkeeper. All in good time. It's only been 3 days. Oasis 418 says, good to have a sign-in. Now we just need 7 more to replace the deadwood, such as Bidwell, Wright, Sims, Bassette, Allen, Eccles, Collins, Kitchen. Blimey.
That's a list enough.
Oasis 418 going straight in for the kill there. Peter Doolan, good evening, guys. At least we've signed someone, not much information on him, but hopefully he's good. I'll just turn my fan off. I don't know if you can hear that. I've got my fan on at the minute. It's a bit loud. Anthony Pettifer says,
no.
Let's the left back in the changing room. Oh, I went all funny then, Mike. Can you hear me? It's a weird night, this is. My headphones went all weird. Hilsner, who the bloody hell signed that deal? What a joke that was, Wayne Littlewood. That's quite funny. I'll turn my fan off. My headphones went off as well. How's that work?
Turn it back on.
Yeah. Colin Bramfield, does anyone know what season... Oh, say, here we go. Does anyone know what the season prize will be after the early bird... will be after the early bird runs out? Club have not said. I think they have, haven't they? I'm sure.
I don't think they have.
No, my ticket is well over 500 quid.
Oh, really?
I pay 440. I'm sure it's 580. You know.
Yeah, we're still about £200 cheaper than Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh yeah. You know, we laugh at other clubs, don't we, during the season when you look at the league table, but it's an absolute nightmare for their fans, isn't it? You know?
Oh yeah.
So, and we've been through it though, haven't we? So we know what it's like.
We can sympathise, can't we? Because we know what that pain feels like.
Yeah. But you know, you reap what you sow. Rich T, if he's as good as Milan, we will be all right. We knew little about him either. Yeah, we just got to trust him, haven't we? Really, nothing else we can do. Paul Stratton says, "Hi all, hope you're all well. Sure, date said 20th of 6/25. Well, it doesn't matter. We're live now, aren't we?
Not tomorrow.
And if Miles made the mistake, he can go live on his own tomorrow night.
I don't know what's happened there.
Rich T, who leaves? Bidwell?
I can't.
Or De Silva? Ralph Wiggins has put Eccles' his cover at fullback. I don't think he is because he's never played there, really, has he?
I disagree. I think we whinge about, like, before Hadji had a couple of stinkers against Sunderland, we all kept whinging that we can't play Hadji on the wing. He's not a winger. We can't play players out of position. Well, if that's your mantra, you can't play Eccles at right back. And you shouldn't even be playing him at right wing back if that's the case.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Jack, actually. Wayne Littlewood says, as long as our new signing is an improvement, then that's what we need. Defence was a huge problem for the last 2 seasons. Going into the new season without reinforcements would only get the same results. I think we can all pretty much agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mick Davenport, Sims sent out on loan to MK Dons. I'm not sure.
Just a quickie on the season tickets. I've only got in front of me the early bird season ticket prices. So there's nothing. I haven't found anything coming up about how much they are after the early bird. Just says early bird season ticket prices.
I'm sure mine is about $5.80 if it wasn't early bird.
What's that work out, about 23 quid a game, something like that? Still not bad, is it?
Yeah, I think my season ticket works out. Yeah,
not bad.
About that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking the other day at, for some unknown reason, at the Torquay United website, and their season ticket, bearing in mind their 6th tier, is £385. So only sort of a £60 difference to the Coventry early bird ones.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? It's 50. Well, about 4 years ago, it was 15 quid to go in and see Leamington at 6th-tier football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all relative, isn't it? Really, and we get a good price. Like it says, 2001, it was still 400 quid. That's what I paid. So, it's not bad at all, is it? Glenn says, Bidwell or JTS aren't going anywhere. Paul Cuttyford, Sheffield Wednesday fans had to buy this season's season tickets at Christmas last year. And they still can't
pay the players.
Wow. No. Colin Branfield.
They've been banned.
Don't need to has got Premier ticket. What are we asking for then? Honestly, Colin, you are a one, Colin, aren't you? You're all right for another couple of years yet. Mark Rainbow, evening team. Will the summer transfer action be buying to replace player here already or signing to build the squad? This chap does look like he's a starter. Apparently, Glenn says, our new signing's a shit. Oh, is a brick. What is it? Yes.
You've said it now, Claudio. You can't take it back after you've said it.
Yeah, the horse has well and truly bolted.
For those listening, I do apologise for the language I've used there.
I'll tell you what, Claudio, you can say it again as long as you do. Oh, the name's just gone out of my head. The Brian Clough impression when you say it.
A Brian Clough impression?
Yeah.
Mark Crossley's impression.
No. I forgot to think about it. Hey, now then, young man.
Yeah, sort of thing.
I can't do it all the way through. Anyway, he loves the tackle, don't we all? Eh? And the booking.
You just sound like Hamer then, don't we?
Yeah. And Joyner, hello, gorgeous people. Sorry, first time able to tune in since last week. What a great night it was at the Empire for Clive Eakin. Good to see you, Miles and Claudio and Ken too. It's good to see you too.
Very good to see you. Yeah, it was a very good night.
Do you want me to keep going, Miles, or you're going to come in now?
Yeah, just keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Thomas Bowers, Sims has to go and be replaced. Midfield and defence needs added to. Nation Radio Coventry. Evening, Tony. Hey, that photo's about 20 years old, Tony. Need quite a few signings as a team at the moment. Won't be good enough. And the league a bit stronger. I know, and a bit stronger next season. But you're right. It's going to be a toughie, isn't it, mate? I think the championship. I just think it's just getting harder every season now. It's a proper league. Freddie the Fish. Do we know of any academy players who might come into the first team next season?
Justin Abiku, maybe.
Yeah.
Andrews has probably got the best shout, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good in that pre-season, but it's a massive jump, isn't it? Then to the
it is, yeah.
That's
He's done a couple of half seasons with Grimsby. I think he probably needs to step up to League One.
Yeah.
Have a loan at League One and then, see how he gets on at that level.
So Colin doing a bit of maths now. Let's see that, Colin. Mine is £500, so it works out at £21.70 a game. That's right.
Yeah, the calculator, right? I only had my brain.
I think mine's £19 something. Jack, what's 580 then divided by 23? Come on, you're the mathematician.
Get a calculator out. I'm not doing that in my head.
You did further maths. Come on.
Yeah, I did. It's £25.22.
There you go.
I was there or thereabouts.
So that's good value. My mate at Sunderland's paying £5.90,
and he's still a friend.
Yeah, he sits in not a great seat either. They've put theirs up £120, apparently. James Hawker says people need to stop worrying about RB. It's only June. With regards to Brow, I read an article a few weeks ago that was talking about 10 best Liga 2 under-23 players, and he was third. Oh.
Why didn't we start on the first and second one?
Yeah, that's a good point.
We might, yeah.
Twisted reality. No need to sell Sheaf this season. The club has a 1-year option available. Good point. Somebody else doing a bit of maths. Paul Stratton, 24,000 season tickets, 10 million in the coffers. Bring it on. That's remember the 15 million that went in the bank.
Plus anyone that buys season tickets for the Mao Lounge and the balcony bar and boxes that have all gone on sale today.
Yeah, boxes at 27,000 a shot.
I'll have 3.
Yeah. I have to sell my body. Wayne Littlewood, our season ticket prices in the ground scheme of things are great value. People who complain need to ask the Dole office for an increase.
Now, Wayne.
He really is. Freddie, keep an eye out for Kai Andrews.
Just in the size of his.
Sorry, it's in the size of what?
Where's this going?
You see the size of Wayne's back garden. He put a picture on Facebook this week of his back garden. He's having some work done. He's got the CBS Arena in his back garden, the size of his place.
I thought he had it. I thought he actually lived in a field to realise he just cut it all back and cleared it. So, so Glenn says, keep an eye out for Kai Andrews, Justin Bickery, Luke Bow, Isaac Moore, Callum Perry, Aidan Dausch. There you are. That's a fine list of players. And
there you go.
This looks like a new name. David Parfrey. I don't think I've read this one out before. I think Sims will stay, but Asante will move on for regular football. Colin Branfield. Cloudy don't need a season ticket as he's in the prawn bar. They don't do prawns up there. I've never seen a prawn up there.
What about you pouring your baccio?
Yeah.
He takes them himself in some tinfoil.
Yes. You can't bring your prawns in here, mate. Paul Stratt. If our new left back likes to tackle, great what we have needed for the last 2 seasons. Yes, we know we're weak on the left hand side, and surely it's an improvement on what we've got. I think that's obvious. Oh, has Miles disappeared? Wayne Littlewood, man cave being built so you can host your Sky Blue nights at my house. Oh, good point.
Oh, well, Wayne.
Salmon and cucumber. None of them prices. I want more than salmon and cucumber. We've lost Miles for a second. So Ben, I think Miles is going to ask you. He lined you up with some stuff, hasn't he? And your background following Cov then. So when did it all start? Who got you hooked? Who do you blame?
I blame my cousin Martin. So in turn, he should blame my dad, because my dad used to take him up. And Martin, obviously I'm 10 years younger than my cousin Martin. And so I did inherit a few Coventry City shirts from the 70s, back in about, I think, 1986. There's a picture of me in a green and black Coventry shirt, or the brown one. But yeah, so 86, I always say, is the season I started supporting them. And 86, 87, obviously, as we all well know, was a great year. And then it went downhill after that, didn't it? Quite steadily. But yeah, no, I became sort of obsessed. I got my first brand new Cov shirt, was the kit after the FA Cup final with the FA Cup winners thing. I think the club have re-released it now. But yeah, I'd go up with my cousin a lot to the games at home. And then, so my first game was, and I remember it was 2 weeks after my birthday. It's the 22nd of March, 1989, against Liverpool. We lost 3-1 at home. And it was the one where Brian Kilcline decided he'd try and pass it back to Oggy from about 30 yards out. And John Barnes nipped in to score. And I think Gary Bannister scored for Coventry that game. I sometimes forget that Gary Bannister played for Coventry. He always had a nice tan. Oh, Gary.
He started with us, didn't he? Then he went away and came back.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so that was my first game. I think my second game was a Rumbelows Cup game against Sheffield Wednesday, which we lost 1-0. Yeah. I've still got the programme. I think it's got Kevin Gallagher on the front cover of it. But then sort of as you get older, you earn your own money. So sort of like, a lot of my time with Coventry was the radio. That's where I used to listen to most of it, because, when you're 10, 11, 12, you want to be out with your mates playing. But I literally collected all the videos. I was obsessed with David Speedy for a long period of time. He was on my 10th birthday cake. I had him on there.
Well, he could fit on there, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could have fitted in it. Yeah, and if it was on a high shelf, he could probably jump as high as it as well. So,
but he didn't come out the cake like.
No, unfortunately not. No. But yeah, so yeah, that's where I sort of started with it. My cousin Martin got me into it, and then going to, obviously, it was a nice touching sort of point that 30 years on or just over 30 years on, we got to go to the Checkatrade final together, had a picture outside the arch, etc. But yeah, a lot of supporting Coventry for me, probably like you guys, was surviving relegation was your success. And you had these fleeting moments, like the 98, 99 team, that sort of period where we were all right. We weren't world breakers or anything like that, but we played deep. We've always played goodish football. But like last season, we've always had great inability to defend. So,
you mentioned that cup game. I think that was the round after we'd beaten Forest 5-4, and we were expected to beat Sheffield. We were expected to beat Sheffield Wednesday, because Sheffield Wednesday were a division below us.
Yeah, and I remember
Big Ron as manager.
Yeah. Well, that 5-4 game, I remember my dad coming up because I was in bed, because obviously it had finished late. And he said, I've got some bad news. And I was like, what's that? He said, Forest have scored 4. And I was like, oh, but some good news. Coventry have scored 5. And I must have watched that game 20, 30 times. Even now, I still watch it on YouTube, because I still can't quite grasp how we managed to let that lead slip. But,
I can't.
Yeah, I can. Well, Steve Livingston and his was it Steve Livingston, Kevin Gallagher, wasn't it? Goal scorers on that. So, but yeah, no, I've been supporting Coventry for 40 years next year.
Fantastic, Miles. You back with us?
I hope so. Is that any better?
Yeah, I was just asking Ben about his background following the City because I know you said you'd sent him some stuff over. I don't know what else you sent him.
Yeah, am I still behind though? Or can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No, still behind. Okay, so yeah, I don't know where I don't know where you got to, but I was going to ask who. Basically, I've sent you some questions today, and I mean, for you supporting the club, I missed the beginning of it, but have you got a favourite sort of? You know, we all have our favourite away days. I mean, you know, there's loads I could talk about, and Claudio and Vicky and Jack could. Do you have one in particular that really stands out for you?
Yeah, Wimbledon, 96. April 96, driving down to Wimbledon, taking up the whole of that stand. Gordon Strachan having to come over to tell us all to calm down. Drove all the way to Wimbledon. We were looking for, obviously, for Crystal Palace, and there's a Cov fan in the car. We were on the Ring Road or whatever it was. We're like, do you know the way to Crystal Palace? He went, no, man, I'm going off to Wimbledon, and went completely off in the wrong direction towards Wimbledon. I was like, oh, he's not going to miss the game. But I missed both the goals that game because both times when Peter and Lovu scored, I went to the toilet. So I had to wait until that evening's match of the day in order to see the two goals. I'd travelled like 4 hours in the car to go and watch. So, but that game, just the atmosphere, everything about that game, because it was typical Coventry, wasn't it? Last game of the not the last game of the season, but you know, we lived on a knife edge, and yeah, I think that game was just, even not seeing the goals, the relief after winning. It still wasn't in our own hands, really. We still could have gone down that year. And because was that the year we played? Was it Leeds or someone last game of the season? Was that the one when Man City played Liverpool?
Yeah, we drew 0-0, and Man City thought they only needed a point, and they kept the ball in the corner, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. My dad almost had to buy a new landing carpet that day because I was stressed. Would be that marching up and down the landing in my dad's house. I think I wore away the carpet on that one. So,
and that day, Gary McAllister had 2 free kicks for Leeds, and there was rumoured that he was going to sign for us in the summer. And I kept thinking, surely he's not going to score and probably send us down. And then comes
Hammer the bar.
I don't know, but he didn't score. I just thought, why is he taking the free kicks?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that away game will always stick with me. It was my first away game, and you know, and it's probably, you know, apart from the Wembley trips, well, not all of the Wembley trips because some of them have had bitter endings, but yeah, just the whole day and just the comical aspect of me missing both of the goals and watching 20 other blokes in the urinals running up the stairs while still urinating, which was pleasant.
That's standard. I know you spoke about listening to it on the radio. For years, I thought, if it was an away game I can get to, I'd hear the halftime score and it'd be like, we'd be winning 1-0. Then I'd tune in and we'd lose. And for years, I'd blame myself. I used to think, every time I tune in, we lose. And it took me a few years to realise, no, we just crap, aren't we, away from home? Basically, we just lose most of our games. I mean, it's totally different now. The way days this season wasn't, well, I didn't see many wins, did I, Jack? It was a nightmare. But
that is your fault. I will just add, that is your fault, Claudia.
But you say that, Jack. My cousin, her husband, and their 2 lads, Jack and Sam, they go to a lot of the away games. And I don't think they saw us win a single away game. I'm sure they went to Luton. They were definitely at Sunderland. And I did send them a message when we got through to the playoffs, basically saying, "Dear Jessups, please don't go to the away game. Lots of love, all Coventry fans." And in true fashion, the inevitable happened. So don't blame yourself, Claudia. What's that? No, we drew it. No, we drew it.
90 minutes and we drew after extra time.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
Which is what I always say about the FA Cup. I've got a few Manchester United fans who are a little bit quiet as friends. And I always say when they say, we beat you in the semi-final. I'm like, no, you didn't. You beat us in a penalty shootout. You didn't beat us in the game. So, and I'm sticking to that one for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Still hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah. I can't watch that last.
I know.
No.
It's funny, you watch it, I don't know what you guys think. You watch it, you get the goosebumps when Torp scores, but you still realise it's not going to be given. I've got the goosebumps now. Look, my ears are sticking up.
Yeah.
Just talking about it. Ridiculous.
One of the questions Miles asked me is what was my favourite goals, and one of my favourite goals was the non-goal, because it was 2 minutes and 19 seconds that I will never get to experience again. I will never have that moment of just absolute limbs. We were just underneath the concourse. We were on the halfway line, and even just thinking about it now, just turning to my brother, sharing that moment with him, turning to him, going, "What have we just done? What have we just done?" And then to have it taken away was just like, oh God.
That's funny. I use the same words with Chris Baker. What have we just done? Pretty much. I'm going, what's going on? What have we done here? This is amazing.
Yeah. The only times I've ever lost it at a football ground celebrating, I'm normally quite reserved to a certain extent, was the Hamer goal against Luton, because of just that pent up, not frustration, but anxiety of the game, going, oh God, are we never going to score? We're never going to score. But when that goal went in, it was everybody around you was sharing this experience of what have we done, and nobody could explain it. And then you hear it, because I obviously had the radio on in my ear, because I have to have the radio on when I'm watching a football, big flat screen TV to me. Then they were talking, and I was like, it's going to be disallowed. And just that feeling was, it makes me sad even thinking about it now.
Do you have the radio on when you go to all games then in your ear?
Yeah. I find it really difficult to, if I don't have the radio on, I find it very difficult to focus.
Oh, right, okay.
Various, mental health things. But if I've got the thingy on, even if it's just on low, it is like when you sat there, it's like having a massive flat screen TV in front of you. You're watching it in 3, and it's just nice to have that. Because I used to go to a lot of games in the late 90s, early 2000s. I used to go to a lot on my own. I'm quite a solitary animal, but I'd go and sit just on my own, just have the commentary on it. It would just be my own personal experience. I used to sort of, and then I'd have the games where my brother would come and a few of my other mates would go, my cousin, that sort of stuff. And, you enjoy that for what it is. And now I go with my dad, my brother and my nephew and my partner's lad, and it's that nice shared experience. But I always have one earbud in so I can hear it. But it is nice for me just having that, it helps me to focus on it. Otherwise I get distracted by stuff like smells of food in front of me.
There was a guy at Highfield Road, he used to sit in front of us, used to have we're going way back now, he used to have the little wired earpiece thing, and he'd listen to a second half of whatever game was on. It was
5 Live or
whatever it was called back then. I think it was called something else then, wasn't it? And it's just random, isn't it, to be listening to somebody else's game while you're watching the Cov match in front of you? That's bizarre.
Yeah. The worst was at Wembley because I had CWR on, and of course because of licensing issues, the FA Cup games could stream on the internet, but the internet feed's about 30 seconds behind the live action. So everything was slight. And then I realised I could put it on Talk Sport because that was live at the time. So I spent the first 70 minutes with it 15 seconds behind. So I was reliving all the drama, Harry Maguire's goal and all that sort of stuff twice.
That's like one of Bidwell's tackles, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, back to you, Miles. I'll let you jump in there.
Hey, leave Bidwell alone, you.
Oh, you're clear now, see? As soon as I slag off Bidwell, you're in, aren't you? Internet's cleared.
I've switched browsers. That's, so there you go. So that's some of your memories there. What have we found out who, my greatest ever player was Sil Regis. Everyone knows that. On my Facebook, I still haven't taken down a picture when I met him at Alan Higgs with Will, when Will was young, and I'll never take that picture down because I'm never going to get that again. So is there anyone that you have seen in a Cov City shirt since you've been following them that you have just gone, wow, he is just unbelievable?
Yeah, I said earlier when you popped off, when I was 8, 9, David Speedy was my hero. Him and Kevin Gallagher were my two sort of, big ones. They weren't wow players. The easy ones to say are obviously Robbie Keane, because of just what he became. He was still raw when he came to us, but you could just tell, you could see the underlying potential with him, that he was a lot better than what we were, but yeah, Hooks, Whelan, Dublin, not, world-class players, but they were quality at what they did for us. And then I suppose the only other two that spring to mind are good, more modern day ones like Gyökeres. None of us, if we're honest, but when he was on loan, would have thought that he would be the player he is now. He's so single-minded in what he wants to achieve. And I think that's the reason why a lot of clubs aren't going for him, as knee deep in for him at the moment, is because I think it's because he used to play for Coventry, and they don't want to admit they missed this player. But Hamer and Gyökeres in the modern age for me are just, they're just steps above everybody else. I mean, I could throw Peter Vincente in there, but I wouldn't want to embarrass everybody else. So yeah, definitely those ones. I mean, world class. I wouldn't like to say we've ever had someone world. I mean, even McAllister, even though he was in the latter part of his career, just the way he would take the ball down and lay it off, and same with Hadji, and the way he would move, and just seeing that movement of the players and stuff. I used to go and watch them train when he used to be able to go and watch them train at Brighton, and even just watching the way they kick a ball, just the way they put their foot through it, it's just, but no, definitely, Speedy was my hero. And then, but when it comes to quality, Robbie Keane, but definitely Gyökeres and Hamer, and the, very, very,
It'd have been good if it had got Nilsson 10 years earlier, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That was a quality right back. Really.
Yeah.
You mentioned Robbie Keane there. I mean, I was speaking to someone the other night. I can't say too much on this at the moment, but I was speaking to someone the other night, and we had a real great. I was on the phone for about an hour with this person, and he's going to be coming on the show, and he mentioned Robbie Keane to me, and I was talking about him, and this guy who I was speaking to, which you'll get to meet him soon. He was saying how everyone didn't want Robbie Keane. You just mentioned about Gyökeres. No one wants to own up that they made a mistake, didn't buy him from us. It was like Alex Ferguson at the time didn't want to buy Robbie Keane. He said he weren't worth £5 million. We went and signed him.
John Gregory said the same as well.
Yeah, and we bought him for £5 million and sold him. Was it 15 million? I think, wasn't it, to Inter Milan? So it's and this guy I was talking to, he was like, couldn't praise Robbie enough. He was saying how good he was and as a player and everything else. And it was great to hear someone else's. And he isn't a Cov fan, so it was great to hear from someone else who enjoyed that player. And we didn't get to see enough of Robbie, did we? Because as soon as someone comes sniffing, we let him go, and it was such a shame because he was such a great player. Right, let's get some comments in for a minute, and then we'll come back to you again in a minute, Ben, if that's all right.
Yeah,
give you a break for a sec.
Fine.
This is Mad Frankie, of course. Yes, Ben, how's it going? Block 20, fella, big geezer. Do you know him, do you?
I do, yeah.
He's mad.
He's sitting behind me.
Yeah.
Does he talk like that, though? Does he talk like that?
No, he talks like that. Hello, Big Frank here. Yeah. I'm in block 32 now. Right. Well, I've moved forward a row now, but I was at the back of block 32. You could always see me and my dad because with the two bright orange coats always sat at the back.
You're stewards, aren't I?
Yeah, well, we get him free by doing that. You see. Yeah.
Mark Rainbow says, no, Prawnio Baccio, more like Puldio Porcio Baccio then. Pulled pork. What a nonsense that is. Anyway, who made that up, honestly? Gary Anderson says, forgive me. because I was drunk. I don't know how it happened, but I was in Suffolk singing the Mason Clark chant with some random Sunderland fan. Collins, hope your missus okay. Yeah, she's fine. Had the operation. She's downstairs recovering, actually. So all good, all good. Bella Taylor says, hello all. Great signing for Cov today. Yes, I think hopefully it will be, Bella.
Hope so.
No relation.
Paul Stratton, if we spend our transfer money on a goalkeeper and top defensive upgrades, we'll be happy because we'll always score goals. Anything above this will be a bonus. It's very tricky, isn't it? It's all right playing Football Manager with somebody else's money, isn't it? We all do that, don't we? I've been watching the World Club Championship, and there's loads of players I want to buy. Even some of the Saudi ones look all right. Dawn Cook, Miles, you look like a horse jockey in that top. Giddy up. What kit is it, Miles?
It's Las Palmas Hummel's retro shirt, but they were wearing it this season.
So they shirt.
Yeah, so Hummel are doing the same with Las Palmas as they are with Cov. They're bringing out a load of like old designs and working it.
I think I've got their 2016 away shirt in pink. And all I can say is, in 9 years, it's shrunk a little bit. A little bit tighter than when I bought it.
Oh, that's one of those ones hanging up on the wall behind me.
Yeah.
Porter says, I've got to be the first. It's got to be the first win at Villa. This is obviously great away days. Moldovan will always be a hero. Yes. Colin, this is interesting because Miles has got something coming up. When do you think the new shirts will come out? As it's been a nightmare over the last 2 seasons. Don't know. Should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Chris Brook is even all from Calais in Spain.
Oh, hey, get him to ask some locals. See what they reckon to Miguel. See if they know him.
All he can
just
say
hi. Just say hi. Do you know Miguel?
Yeah.
He's gone to Spain because it's cooler than here.
Yeah. He can probably say dos cerveza, por favor, whatever it is, and that's it.
Two big beers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Steve Porter, my fave game, got to be. I've just read that one. Chris Brooks says, I agree, Jack. Every time Claudio comes on the coach, we lose. Oh, God, honestly.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's barred. He's barred next season.
Yes. Paul Stratton says, best footballer to play for us was Ian Gibson. Genius, what a player.
I'm a bit too young for that one.
Yes. Anthony Pettifer says, Tommy
Audio
Hutchison.
isn't.
Says, Miles, as your Bidwell fan, not alone, do you think his best is behind him or he will regain his form? Do you think it's finished, Miles, or do you think there's still something there to offer?
Look, I'd love him to stay. I really would, because it's not just for me. It's about the rapport you build with players, and he's such an ambassador for our club. And I think when we signed him it was Swansea, wasn't it? We signed him from Swansea in the January, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a good signing. Just like when we got Grimes, everyone's gone, oh yeah, this is a good signing. He could be a good now for backup. I think he's better than people always say. De Silva's better, but De Silva's too small. And I go back to when we had Dion Kelly Evans and his brother, and you know, Mark Robbins got rid of them because they were too small. In this league, you can't have players like De Silva. You can't not left back. You can't have it. If you know, we're all moaning about the defense, and okay, De Silva's great at getting forward, but he's too short. And every single time he plays, everyone plays that ball.
Drops over the top of his head.
Yeah, every time.
It's a physical league, isn't it? You know, you're getting big old strikers, and they're just going to push him around, which is why you find players of his stature, like because Callum O'Hare's about the same height, play in that number 10 role where they can just find those little pockets of space.
Yeah, but it's just look, it'd be a great backup, and if he stays, he stays. If he doesn't, then it'd be sad. But yeah.
And he doesn't really get injured, does he, Bidwell? If you look at his record, he's played a phenomenal amount of games, really. You know, very rare.
Go on, Jack.
Sorry, on that basis then, Miles, would you get rid of Jamie Allen?
Jamie Allen's time is up, I think. To be honest. I do. I think we need, if we're bringing in fresh legs on left back, we need to bring in fresh legs in the middle as well. You swap them over. You ship one out.
But as it stands in that midfield, we've got Sheaf, Grimes, Torp, Eccles, and Allen's a fifth choice. Is that all right?
No, I still think Allen is.
There's a fifth choice.
No, still in a wage. I don't think Eccles is going to be here either.
I think still in a wage is a bit harsh, but I also agree that we probably because the trouble is Sheaf gets injured quite a lot. Torp seems to struggle to get any form away from home, so then you're running out of midfielders. And for me, midfield is somewhere we need some more depth. So I think
we lack a bit of creativity at times, don't we, in the middle?
Yeah, and the trouble is then we lose that midfield battle if we turn to sort of like the backup players, and then we get beat, especially away from home. We're a bit weak then.
Yeah, and as we said, we need to strengthen all over. If you want to go up and you want to push for the automatics or get the playoffs again, we've got to strengthen the team, and you can't look for. We've got
sentiment can't hold you back.
No, it can't. You've got to be ruthless, and you've got to go for it. And if it means getting rid of Allen, if it means getting rid of Bidwell to Silva, and bringing in fresh blood just to freshen it up a bit and things like that, then you've got to do it.
But that's exactly what happened last summer when we got rid of the likes of Matty Godden, Liam Kelly, and Carl McFadzean. And we've all said over the last 12 months, wouldn't it be great to have Matty Godden scoring goals up top? Wouldn't it be great to have Liam Kelly being captain in midfield? Wouldn't it be great to have Fads organising our defence? How do you balance the two then, Miles?
I don't know who said it'd be great to have Liam Kelly in the middle. Definitely wasn't me.
When we were short before Grimes had come in that midfield, it was an option, wasn't it? People were mentioning it.
Yeah, but his legs.
It's just a point I'm making, though. Is like
his legs are gone.
To get rid of sentiment, but then 6 months later, sentiment comes back because these players perform. I know they've taken steps downwards, all of them, and that's probably the best thing. But you can't have both arguments.
And I think Kelly's legs had gone. Sorry, Ben. Kelly's legs had gone.
Yeah, I agree. I agree about Kelly completely.
So you had no choice. McFadzean, we should have offered him a coaching role. That's what we said. We said it on the show. We shouldn't have let McFadzean go. We should have offered him a coaching role because he would have been ideal to bring, these lads through, and he would have coached them the way that he could do it. That's what we said. We didn't say we'd like to keep him to play him. We said we'd like to keep him to go in a coaching role to give those lads, to teach them how to defend.
He was the one we missed the most, wasn't he? He was the one. He was that experience at the back is what we missed the most. Godden is great, but he's done good in League One. He wouldn't have done that in the Championship. That's just a nostalgic thing, isn't it? Because he did so well for the club.
It lost out the yard, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think looking at our midfield, you got Grimes and Sheaf don't score many goals, if any at all. You then got Eccles popped up with a 2 or 3. Jamie Allen got about 8 a couple of seasons ago. Actually, he had a fairly good strike rate, but he's not going to do that again. So then you're left with Torp and Rodoni, really, who are going to get you goals from midfield. I think we need another guy in there who can play midfield, who can score goals as well, and that helps when the other guys aren't scoring. Because when Rodoni didn't score last season, we're looking at Torp. Torp's injured. Who's scoring goals? We struggled at times. Yeah, we're relying on Bobby Thomas getting goals.
Yeah, but Sheaf in front of goal is a scare. He just can't seem to. Yeah, I think I could finish better than Sheaf could in front of goal. The other stuff he can do better than I can do, but I'm pretty sure I could pull it in from 8 yards.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
definitely. Go on, carry on then, and when we get on to the next subject.
Ian Usher says, big queue in the bookies to pick up the first scorer winnings after Keane's debut against Derby. For those who get the chance, I've done the new history podcast with Jim Brown, and obviously Robbie Keane gets a mention. We completely forgot about Craig Bellamy. Which it's like, what the thing is, we've had this list for a month and we've gone through it, and it's both of us just completely forgot about Craig Bellamy, and that says everything you need to know about Craig Bellamy and Coventry City Football Club.
Lord himself to the Coventry fans, isn't he, Craig Bellamy?
Yeah, and somebody made a comment in the YouTube about, what about Craig Bellamy? And all I know is when you read, I think it's in his book, or he's in an interview, Craig Bellamy said that when he was going to sign for Cov, he was outside waiting for Bobby Robson to call him because he was desperate to go to Newcastle. And in the end, he had to go in and sign for us because it looked like the phone call wasn't coming. Then he got the phone call after he signed, and he regretted signing for us from day one. And that's the player we got. And that's why I'm no time for him whatsoever.
That attitude all season, didn't they?
Yeah.
Can't stand him.
It's just ironic. We completely forgot about him.
Well, we spent the same money on him as we did Robbie Keane, but Robbie Keane was ready to go when he came in. I think Bellamy had just recovered from 2 broken legs, hadn't he? And then continued to play the season like he had 2 broken legs.
Yeah, we had ACL, wasn't it? It was a terrible sign.
It's a bad attitude. It's just poor attitudes, and that's the thing you can't forgive, I think, isn't it? Like, players can lose form, or they can maybe not be good enough, all those sorts of things, but bad attitude, can't forgive that.
You look at his strike partner that season, Cedric Roussel. I mean, God rest his soul. He wasn't the greatest player we've ever signed, but he gave everything that he could do, and he kept going. And even when we tried to flog him to Wimbledon as part of the Hartson deal, he carried on going and ended up at Wolves. But his attitude the whole season, you could just see it from
Bellamy improved once Hartson signed. He started to put Smith in because he got his Welsh counterpart with him, didn't he? But
and I think if we'd signed Hartson a few weeks earlier, we may have stayed up, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, that's gone.
Everyone was
dusted.
Yeah, dusted.
You weren't even born, Ben. Were you? Of course you were. Of course you were born.
I'm a 70s child. I'm a 70s child, Claudio.
Sorry.
Jack wasn't born.
Jack wasn't born. I was thinking.
You think I look that young, though? I'm like.
I was thinking of Brow because he was born in the December of 2001. So,
I've got shoes older than that.
I've got pants older than that. Colin Bramfield, got them on now.
You've got trousers older than that as well when you wear them in the box.
Colin Bramfield. I was with Claudio at the Millwall match, stood next to him, and we won. We did, yes. And we also saw.
That's because it was my birthday. That's the only game that Claudio's seen us win away from home last year. My birthday. That's why.
Well, the windy game.
Did you not go on the coach?
It was the windy game where the tree blew over on the main road in London and landed on a kid. Actually landed on him. And we went, oh look, that kid's trapped under the tree. Keep moving. We're going to be late.
You're right. Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. He crawled out. Okay, out. Was there anyone who didn't have a £1 on Robbie Keane to score against Derby? Mark Cunningham. Hi all. I'm with you, Miles. Love bidders, but I just don't think he's got the legs anymore. Paul Cuttyford says, talking of short players, didn't we turn down Kevin Keegan because he was too short, apparently? Yeah, but I'm sure I read that he tried out as a keeper and not an outfield player. This is way back in the mid 60s. So
we'll have to ask Jim.
Yeah,
we'll ask Jim, I know.
Cameron De Rossi says, "Buongiorno, people." Yes, yes.
Of course, you like that.
Yeah. Mad Frankie says, "It's a shame we haven't got any decent players coming through from the academy. Everyone else seems to." Quentin Cartwright, we can only have 25 players in the first team squad, correct? So someone's got to go. But you can name like Bassette in the second street. And there's ways around it. There are ways around it. Paul Stratton, Miles, love the word ruthless. We have to be if we want promotion. Sentiment will win nothing. Ooh.
We've got to be now. We've got to be.
Um,
Can't keep falling at the last hurdle.
Mick Davenport says, everyone wants to forget Bell End. I'll read that out. I don't mind. I don't think Ofcom will come chasing us. Chris Foster, I remember Bellamy tried to do the step over when we were in the West Terrace and we all laughed.
It didn't help him either, the fact that shirt was just absolutely massive on him as well. It just made him look like a child.
Craig Bellamy, a top player, but his time at Cov was worse than Hilsner, which says a lot.
Didn't see Hilsner play a bad game for City.
Did you see him play any minutes, though, at all?
No, that's why.
In a shirt. Don't forget Lee Hughes. I saw him in Featherstone Prison eating a bag of cheese and onion crisps.
I met Lee Hughes at a Torquay United game. Torquay were playing Notts County, and I made a comment about Lee Hughes just as him and Adi Akinbayi came round the corner. Adi Akinbayi was a big guy. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, isn't he?
Yeah, he was a unit, he was.
Paul Stratton, Roussel made Keane like Rosario did the same for Mickey Quinn. Mickey Quinn was full of praise, wasn't he, on that night out? We had been about Robert Rosario.
I tell you what, that takes me back because I think we sold Robert Rosario the week that Bobby Moore died, and Coventry had a game that night. I can't remember who it was, but we turned up at the game and there was a minute silence. And my brother, who, God, he must have only been 10, 11, asked who the minute silence was for. And we told him it's because Robert Rosario left. We only corrected that statement with him about 4 or 5 years ago. And he was like, what? So it wasn't for Robert Rosario? We're like, no, it was for Bobby Moore.
Finn, evening all, pretty quiet on the transfers yet again. We need Doug King to dig deep if he wants to progress. Looking forward to the start of the season. Finn, we just signed somebody today.
Just say, get on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or rewind the podcast.
Hold on. Hey, Jack, should we put a picture up of this new signing for him? Here you go. There you go. Just in case you missed it.
It looks like Norman Bassett.
I was just thinking exactly the same.
Yeah.
Mark Cunningham, is there a time limit for Sheffield United to pay us the money for Hamer? Well, they got points deducted last season for not paying for transfers. So they need to start paying clubs their transfers. That's what they got the points deduction for.
I'll be very surprised if somebody doesn't come in for Hamer this summer.
Yeah.
Especially the quality of their managers dropped off as well.
Have they replaced Wilder, have they? Or
Ruben Sellers.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, people are going, he got to playoff final, finished third. Yeah, but he had one job. His one job was to win that playoff final. Yeah. He was always getting sacked.
His one job was to not bottle being top of the league after they beat us 3-1.
Yeah, so...
Top of the league.
Yeah, I know.
He was loving it, wasn't he? Yeah.
I bet it's fun at Chris Wilder's house at Christmas. He looks like a fun guy.
Yeah. Ralph Wiggins says, well said, Victoria. It's probably to everything you've said.
Thanks, Ralph.
Offer of mercy. Anyone else completely fed up with internet footy website linking Frank with another managerial job? Utter cobblers. And I'm also fed up of us City fans posting these nonsense stories. They're just boring, aren't they? He's not going to Brentford. You watch tomorrow morning, Frank Lampard signs for Brentford.
It's a death on that one.
It ain't gonna happen. Just
no. I think it's somewhere though, isn't it? Everyone's bored, aren't they? So just post rubbish all summer.
He's had a half decent season with us last season. That's it. And some of our fans are getting carried away, aren't they?
I think if he walked out on us, went to another club, and that then didn't go well, that would be the nail in his coffin, I think, as a manager.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you think?
Well, he's not going anywhere. Simple as. I don't think he'll make the mistake. He's learned from it. He took a difficult Chelsea job on, did a very good job in the first season, and then wasn't up to scratch from the owner's point of view. Took on a difficult Everton job that was never going to be easy, struggled, and the 2 times he's been in the Championship, he's made the playoff final. Well, semi-finals at least. So, that's great. From if you look at his Derby record, his Cov record, and the first year of Chelsea, it's a great record.
You can understand why he went to Chelsea. I mean, there's like nostalgia there, isn't there? But unless Chelsea come along, I can't see that anything else is going to have enough of a lure for him.
No.
Pagagon says, according to BBC, we signed him July the 1st. That's when his contract officially ends. I think who's playing? I think like Alexander Arnold. Real Madrid actually paid Liverpool 10 million so he could play in the Club Championship to release him from as he couldn't play. So I don't know what Liverpool fans are moaning about. Gary Anderson. Did you see as well the statistics of the season tickets sales in Liverpool, where it's only something like, is it 5% or 8% are from actual LV postcode are Liverpool season ticket holders compared to
postcode for Liverpool.
Yeah, compared to 80% for Everton fans. Tourist club. Gary Anderson, get an experienced goalkeeper might be ideal, not only for us this season with Dovin being out, but also helping the young goalkeepers progress. Well, they are, aren't they?
Says the Juventus fan that lives in Borsal Common.
There's got an Italian flag up behind him.
Hey, we beat some team from Abu Dhabi 5-0 last night.
Brilliant.
I know. They're owned by the president of the Abu Dhabi. It's ridiculous.
Listen, I ain't getting into all this World Club Cup, whatever's going on, when they've changed all the replays for the FA Cup, which is all bull.
They'll probably have the FA Vars winners in it.
You know, that's a directive from UEFA. It's nothing to do with our league. They've basically said... Yeah. I know, but that's why, though. Before people start thinking it's to do with our people who run our football, it's not. The directives come from elsewhere.
I reckon they should put the winners of the Checkatrade Trophy in the Club World Cup next time.
I don't give a damn. They're moaning that they could play too many games, so they've changed the FA Cup, and these teams are going straight out playing all these games. Man United jetted off straight to Malaysia or somewhere to play bloody football.
And then lost.
But the Club World thing.
They lost.
Yes. That's FIFA, isn't it? They haven't got a choice, have they?
Yeah.
That's
Who knows? We might jet off and play in the Ibiza Cup again. Beat QPR this time around.
Oh God!
Remember the Skull Cup? That was a great cup.
Yeah. Those cups back in the 80s when we couldn't get into Europe and stuff. There's one cup competition and it went over 2 seasons. And it's never been finished, a bit like our Anglo-Scottish Cup with St Mirren as well.
Yeah, that's not been... no one was interested, were they?
No,
and the Civil Regis Cup, they haven't done that again.
Yeah, they said that was going to be every season, didn't they? And they just did it once, and then it didn't come back.
West Brom won it, so they went, oh, that's it. And we won't bother doing it.
Yeah. So, Gary Anderson, I can't remember if I read this out now. Getting experience.
You've had that.
I've read that one.
Yeah. Last one, then we go on to our subject. And then we'll have another
Finn, hi Paul, all good pal. How's you? Yes, we need many more players if you want to be in with any chance of progressing. I agree, and I love the badge, Finn.
Oh yeah, I like that. Right, and so we'll come back to you shortly, Ben. We're just going to talk. Yeah. Have you already done Bassette, or am I all right?
We haven't done Bassette, no.
No, brilliant. No. Okay, so the rumours are flying around. Bassette may be going off to Standard Liège or Anderlecht. Now, I don't know what you lot think about this one. I think this is daft if he goes, but it might be a loan. We don't know if he does go. But would you, here's a question for all of you. We'll come to Ben first. Would you keep him, sell him, or send him out on loan?
Oh, kiss, marry, divorce, or whatever it is. I think he's gone. He's very raw, isn't he? He's not. The elements of a good striker are there. God, I sound like I know I'm talking about it, but he's obviously not the complete package. And but yeah, I like his, his housery and stuff like that. And there's something about him. Whether he's a Frank player, I'm not too sure. But I think he needs a loan. He needs a loan at a decent level, get some good run of games, get some game time in, because at his age, stop, start, 10 minutes, he's not going to develop in that sort of environment. I think he needs some game time. I think a loan, I wouldn't like to see him leave, because I think you need that type of player. You need a bit of a bite, don't you? You need someone who's going to gnaw the ankles of the opposition and get them sent off. So, yeah, I would keep him. I'd keep him. I'd get him out on loan, get some game time in him. He's a Belgium international at the end of the day. So, yeah. And
I mean, like you just said, you can't have a player keep coming in, coming out, going in, coming out. Look what happened to Tavares. He was sitting on the bench all the time.
Yeah.
He was getting the odd minute here and there. It wasn't doing him any good. So I totally get what you're saying. What league then? We'll come to Jack. Jack, what league do you think would suit him as a loan, do you think?
Well, I mean, if you could, it's not that this will happen. If you could find let's say a bottom half championship club that we're going to play in, week out, Portsmouth, let's say Portsmouth lost Colby Bishop to an ACL, and they went, we want Bassette for the season. That'd be great, because that's exactly where, or in Oxford, something like that. It's exactly where he'd do well. I think if you sent him to League One or foreign leagues, you just never really know when they come back to this level. League One, I think he'd do quite well, but would that tell us exactly how good he is? I'm not so sure.
No.
Whereas if he could play 35 games for Portsmouth or Oxford or something, then scored 12 goals, you go, okay, class, 1 in 3, we'll have him and we can utilise him now. But we can't have him behind Hadji, Sims and Asante, but everyone wants to get rid of Hadji, Sims and Asante. So, he's going to be the number one choice at that point, isn't he?
Yeah.
Some loan I think would be ideal for him, but you've got these loans. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll send him out on loan." It's not a game of FIFA career mode where you can press loan and he disappears to Hyderabad FC or whatever and comes back a year later and is grown by 5 overall. It's not how it works. He's got to go to a level that's going to improve him, challenge him, and not just be a waste of his own time. And he needs the game time. And working out is the hard bit.
Yeah,
so
he's probably not good enough for the top half of the championship just yet, but he's probably too good to be in League One. So it is finding that balance for him, isn't it? It's finding where he can develop and, become the player that we kind of see glimpses of.
I mean, Vicky, Ben and Jack make really good points there. I mean, absolutely cracking. What do you reckon? Or do we stick with him? Do we bring him through?
I pretty much agree with Ben and Jack, really. I think a loan, a well-placed loan is the way to go. I'd be disappointed if we sell him, because we obviously saw a prospect. We brought him in, and if we just sell him now without having given that a shot, it just seems strange, because there clearly still is a prospect there. So why, when he's still in the contract, would you just give up on that prospect so quickly without really giving it a chance to develop? So I'd be disappointed if we just give up already. But I also think if he just stays here, he probably won't develop enough. So I think a well-placed loan is the way to go. I think I'm not sure he entirely fits the way that we play under Frank, especially being so raw. Maybe once he's developed, he would more so. So yeah, I think for me it'd be a well-placed loan, and then see where we are next summer. Because we're dreaming of being in the Premier League next season, so that's another thing, isn't it? Like, we might have gone up another level, and no matter how much he's developed, he might not be ready for that, and we might have to sell on then. So it's but yeah, I think keep him, loan him out, and then reassess.
Well, here you go. Season at League One, and then we go up to the Prem. Then he can have a season in the Championship to get more experience. So when we come back down from the Prem, he'll be ready for us. Great shout.
How old is he? Is he 20? Is he 20?
Yeah, he was 19 when we signed him, wasn't he? So he must be 20 now, I think. Yeah.
He's still only young, isn't he? And he's, he's played at a level higher than the kids at, like a Beakwoo and people like that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with him, I suppose.
Yeah, we've just got to wait and see. I mean, Claudio, your thoughts on this little one?
I think if you're going to send him out on loan till Christmas. Give him 6 months, get him some game time if he's not going to be part of the actual anywhere near the starting lineup. I think if he goes out on loan, we need him so we can get him back if we need him, basically. He's played half decent matches. He's raw though, isn't he? He is raw. Yeah. And you know what? If he sold him, I wouldn't be bothered, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm kind of at fussed, really. If he goes out on loan, then do it for 6 months and then get him back. But if he was sold tomorrow, it's no skin off my nose, and I've got a very big nose, so yeah.
Almost as big as my forehead.
Yeah.
Samantha Thornton says, sign Mark Harris from Oxford and loan Bassette to them as part of the deal. Good shout. Oh, he's a good shout. Right then. So have you, now I know we all have, but just going to ask you, and I'm asking everyone out there, we have got record season ticket sales. So it's over 20,000. It's 20,002 because I renewed mine this week. Oh, and Vicky, you did yours as well, didn't you? So that's 20,003. But let's talk about this because this is absolutely phenomenal. I've been talking to, we've got some temps in at work through the summer, some students. One of them's a Wolves fan. And I went in today, I was bouncing because, we've seen that we've sold 20,000 season tickets and there's a waiting list for season tickets at Coventry City. I ain't being funny here. I mean, come on, Ben, there's a waiting list for season tickets at Coventry City. What's that?
I did say to the lady at the ticket office at one point last season, I've gone are the days where you could buy the cheapest ticket in the ground and sit wherever you like. It's great, really. And a lot of that praise does go to, Mark Robbins, Dave Boddy for bringing the club back to us as fans. Mm. And I did say for a long time we were I always get this wrong. We were a one club city that never really supported its club. We never, when you used to go out in Leicester, I dated a few people who lived in Leicester. Everybody was in Leicester shirts.
Oh, dear. Sorry, mate. Sorry about that. Sorry for you for that one.
It did bring a little bit of sickness in the mouth. But we've never, and it's nice now that we've all been to games, probably not Jack, he's probably too young, even when we were in the Premier League, where there was like 3,500 against Wimbledon or whatever it was. To see where we've come from, I took my kids we beat Bradford about 3-0 in, I think, 2015, 16. And there was about 8,000 there. To where we are now, you would never thought it. You used to think, other clubs have that. And when, we live and die in these towns, come on. I'm a 46-year-old man who gets a little bit of an emotional tingle in his heart when that comes on, just to see this collective thing from all these people who've finally got something that we can be proud of, and in a way. So, but yeah, I mean, from where we've been over the years, I remember going to a fans forum remember Leonard Brodie and Ken Delio, and that was around time Marlon King was at the club, and they got a group of the fans together. I went, Martin Warren went, and they had all these big plans about, texting substitutes and all this. And they say, our model is to be like Norwich. And you say to them, yeah, but when you're a Norwich fan, there is only Norwich there. There's nothing else there. You're not going to be an Ipswich fan in Norwich because you'll get lynched. We need to be more, think about what we want to be and find our own identity as a club. And I think we've done that. And I think to sell 20-odd thousand season tickets we have come a long way down a very windy road, I think. So, and I have mine. I got my 4 the other week. Unfortunately, my dad hasn't renewed because he was 80 a few weeks ago. Happy birthday, Dad. I didn't forget.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and he just, because we parked down Windmill Road, so it's mile and a half walk to the ground. Then he's got to climb right up to row XX, and I think it was just getting a little bit too much for his knees. So he won't be coming next season. But myself, my partner's lad, and my nephew and my brother will be going. So we'll be there. Back a row. What comes for X in the alphabet? That's the row I'm in. So, yeah.
We cycle it backwards.
Yeah.
It's
W. Is it V?
Isn't it?
Is it
V.
W?
Yeah.
Is it V?
W. Oh, duh.
W. Yeah. It's W.
W.
Yeah, W. So I'm in row WW, not XX this year. So
If you've just tuned in, this is an episode of Countdown.
yeah. Where all the words are 2 letters long.
Now,
I have renewed.
I'm surprised that they haven't just come out today and said we've sold all 24,000, because apparently there was a waiting list. Claudio, you put something in the chat earlier. 800 and what waiting list?
834 on the waiting list.
On the waiting list. So,
It blows
you know,
my
so
mind.
we're looking
It blows my mind.
So you're looking at 20,884 then, aren't you? Already today, if they've all accepted. I know Robert in the Isle of Wight, bless him, he's put one down. He put a reserve down for one, and I'm hoping he's got one because he travels up nearly every game. It's every other week or every other game, and he's going to start coming on his own. He's going to come up over on the ferry, get the coach up to Coventry, and he's going to go to the games on his own, bless him, all the way from the Isle of Wight. So I hope he has got a ticket. Claudio, you being the oldest one here, knowing us way back in the early 40s and 30s.
1840s or
yes. I mean, you know the birth of the club and everything else, and you're the new historian along with Jim. I mean, Jim's way above you. I mean, you're never going to catch him.
Obviously.
But I mean, you got to think this is just unbelievable. And as Ben said, we've said it on here a lot of times. We've got to thank Mark Robbins, Dave Boddy, and AD, and all of them, Dennis Lawrence, and the team that got us from League Two and team in League One and everything. We've got to thank them. But this is unbelievable, isn't it? Really,
it is. But they've been backed by the fans, haven't they, as well? From the League Two days through to League One, and even now. And you could. I know you'll remember, obviously, the FA Cup and all that, Miles, in 87, that it wasn't long after we'd won the FA Cup, the crowds went down that first season. They were all right for the start of the season. They tailed off because people just wanted to go to Wembley for the cup final. Yeah. It hasn't happened here. We had the disappointment of losing the playoff. We sold more tickets. We had the disappointment of the FA Cup semi-final, missing out on the playoffs. We've sold more tickets. We missed out again last season. Looks like we're selling more tickets. That's what's impressive. That we're failing in some ways, and we're getting more season ticket holders. Whereas in the past, we actually won the FA Cup. We had decent season ticket holders, but then it all tailed off immediately. So it is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And you have to say, look at the fan base now. How young it is. Their fans of the future now. That's it. We could almost, I'll stick my head out here. We could have this sort of season ticket size for the next few seasons, because once you get hooked, it's hard to stop going. And if it's pretty good, it's even harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'll have to put a board request in to expand the stadium at this rate.
Well, it's. I mean, the thing is, it isn't. I mean, let's not get too silly, but you can expand that stadium if it ever had to be done.
It's been designed to expand. Yeah.
So it is just tremendous, really. And like I said, it's great to see the young kids. I mean, I've got great niece and nephews at 7, 5, and 4. When my nephew he takes them all up there. That's how it starts, isn't it? And it's brilliant. But it is fantastic. Like I said, the youngsters. I mean, I live in an area where it was mainly all Blues and Villa, and I was told when I had my 60th at the tennis club where I had it, they said the most busiest night there when they've got the football on is when Coventry City's on, and that's in the middle of Walsall Common, and that says it all, basically. So it's fantastic.
But our successes now are at the other end of the league. You think about that sort of after the FA Cup final. We had a couple of good finishes, but our successes, as I said before, were staving off relegation, whereas now our successes are, as I think I said on the radio once, we almost kissed the face of God when we got promoted, almost penalty shootout away. So it's almost like it's flipped. We're now celebrating the fact we're at the top end of a table. It might not be the top table, but we're not celebrating.
It's something positive as opposed to something negative, isn't it? We're not celebrating just being enough. It's actually celebrating success, isn't it? But it's like you were saying, Claudio. I grew up with a walking distance of like Highfield Road, sort of living Stoke Wycombe way. Growing up, you barely ever saw anyone in a Cov shirt. You barely ever saw anyone. Like the attendances were low. You'd go when a big club was in town, it'd be full. But then as soon as they scored off the ground, I'd jump up chairs. So you're thinking, well, they're not Cov fans, are they? It's just been full with like armchair Liverpool or Chelsea or Man United fans, and there was no real engagement with like you knew a couple of other people that were Cov fans, and that was about it really. And now you can't go a day without seeing people walking around in Cov shirts. I look like every day I see somebody in some sort of Cov wear, like every day, and it's just brilliant.
Well,
the game Yellow Car, we've all played it. You have to go Yellow Car. I know how to do Cov shirt. I keep saying we're driving the car.
Well, my partner's grandchildren over in Thailand, they got a Coventry City baby grow. And we're going over there in 4 weeks' time. And because we went to the shop a few weeks ago, we have got a suitcase full of Coventry City merch to take over there. Brilliant. And I did say, I said to one of my colleagues today, you can tell when you're becoming massive because you can now buy counterfeit Coventry shirts and Coventry stuff on Temu. So that proves that we're in the Manchester United realms when people are thinking we're big enough to rip off. So
yeah.
Jack, do you think this comes from, like they're saying, we are starting to win games and things, but do you think this is that everyone's thinking now, right, if we back this team, they could go all the way back to the Premier League if we fill this stadium? Because I'm admiring the picture behind Vicky. It's just wonderful to see that green screen behind you with the crowd. I mean, the stadium looks amazing. Do you think that's what it is now? The people of the city, because we have been through so much crap with you know who and the people that live in the big council house and all that pants rubbish, that the people of the city want this club to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you say, we've gone through horrible times with points deductions, administrations, playing at Birmingham, Northampton, even Burton Albion for a game. It's like that's gone. The council are out of it. The previous owners are out of it. Wasps are out of it. We've got no negativity, no stigma around this city anymore. We've made Wembley 2 out of the last 3 seasons, and we even made the playoffs this season. What about the last 8 years does not say that we're a club on the up? We absolutely are. And we have been, like I say, for 8 years now. And we've been so close 2 occasions. And even last year with the FA Cup run, we, had we have not had that FA Cup run, would we have got a playoff spot? We may have done. We'll never know, but we absolutely may have done because we didn't have to play 4 games in 12 days or whatever it was after beating Man United. So, it's fantastic. And why can't we do it? We absolutely can. We all saw us get relegated in 2017, and there were pigs being thrown on the pitch against Charlton, and we had a little pitch invasion. And it was like, this is a low point. It's a real low point. It's the lowest that even Claudio had ever seen us get to, and he's seen us in every division that's ever existed. So from there, of crowds of 6,000 and checker trade games where we'd only open a quarter of the ground, and we'd beat Crawley Town 1-0 with a Marvin Sordell goal, and it's like freezing cold on a December night. We've been there. It's horrible. And from where we've come through all the tough times, we have to go and do it. Just because we've missed out twice now and in an FA Cup, We have to go and do it. And I think everyone, and I mean everyone, is here to just enjoy it. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that's part of the thing, Jack? That like, so we were all like just going along with the flow, and then it got to the stage where there's a real risk that we were going to lose our football club entirely, wasn't there? Like that League Two season, if we hadn't gone up, who knows where we'd be now? And do you think in some ways that sort of jettisoned everybody and thinking like whereas before they were a bit nonsense, we'll go and watch Cov if we can. Now they're like, actually, we nearly lost our club entirely, and now we need to get behind it properly, and it almost galvanised everybody together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can even take similarities to Sunderland. You know, their seasons in the Premier League, they were staving relegation. The crowds were dropping. They dropped into the Championship. The crowds dropped. They dropped into League One, and all of a sudden, the crowds went back up, and they got behind their team. And look where they are now. It's exactly what we've done. We missed out by that much. They got there by that much. You know, pure luck, whatever you want to call it. They've done it. We have done exactly the same thing. We've backed our team. We got there. And from League Two to what could have been Premier League football 2 years ago was 5 seasons. That's incredible. That would have been incredible. I mean, it was incredible anyway, but that would have been incredible. So it's almost like you're in a mildly difficult situation. You go, I don't not a fan of that. As soon as you go, right, it's do or die, something happens, mentality changes. I think as humans, we go, we've got to do something now. And whether that's go and follow your football club or tackle a difficult job in your life, there is a mentality shift. And we got behind the club, and everything has just been a forward step since then. Everything. And that's where we're going. And hopefully this time next year, we'll be talking about how terrible our Premier League fixtures are and the fact we're not playing on Boxing Day. That hopefully will be us.
Well, you never know. You never know, Jack. I've got to put this up. This is lovely from Plol. Something not talked about helps is the rise of fan ecosystems. Podcasts like this, Twitter users posting stats, etc., help fans follow and keep engaged. Not just something big clubs have. So he's right. There's a lot of these pods going out there now. It's brilliant to see, and the engagement that we get, that we know from abroad as well, from around the world, is just phenomenal. And people have said that we keep having these programs and other programs that are out there. You've got Sky Blue Extra, you've got All Things Sky Blue. We're all promoting the club, and we want to promote the club, and that's probably helping a lot of it. So that's a lovely comment there.
And I think that engagement as well, I think you need an engaged supporter base, because at our level, at League One level, League Two level and below, you need it. Whereas in the Premier League, Arsenal, got a massive stadium, but their main income isn't from ticket sales. No. They've got other massive streams of income. The fans are almost secondary. Whereas, for us, we've had a common enemy for a long time in Sisu when they own the club, which we've had a good product on the pitch. I think you need all of those things coming together to engage you. And I think when we hit rock bottom, when, after, everybody's favourite Coventry manager, Russell Slade, left, and, we got through to that Checkatrade final, having seen that wave of sky blue, and probably Robbins probably thought it as well, probably saw it and thought, do you know what? There is something here. It's just been beaten out of us, this love for this club over, a generation of underinvestment, poor signings, poor management decisions, getting rid of Eric Black, bringing in Peter Reid, all this sort of stuff. You need that engagement from fans. Otherwise, at our level, a club will just die. It will just wither and, peter out. And we came that close to doing it. And like Jack said, we came that close to reaching the promised land. But the fact we've still got a club is testament to everybody wearing a sky blue shirt. Everybody does a podcast. Everybody turns up at a game or engages on the radio. So, yeah.
And on the flip side of that, I say we got that close to the Premier League. We also got that close to not beating Notts County, because that second goal that got flagged for offside was not offside. He was clearly on. He was dead in line with me, and he was clearly on. momentum's with them. We lose that. Look what happened to them the following year. They dropped out the Football League. And that
we'll give them
us.
We'll give them the Adji goal then, and we'll take that one. Well, not the Adji goal, the Torp goal, but Adji's toe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine margins, isn't it? It's all about fine margins, and we came unlucky on that one.
It is. Listen, before we get some more comments in, just want to ask you, Ben, you told us a story last week when we met you at the Clive Eakins farewell evening at the HMV, which was absolutely amazing. It was brilliant.
It was good.
So you told us a little story that you sometimes fall over when you ring in the radio.
Well, I am a great thingy on the Gimme 5. It's my one part of the week where I get to test my brain out. And during the winter, I live just outside Rugby in Lawford Heath. And there's nothing out here, just farmers' fields and roads. And one day I was messaging on the Gimme 5, and I was thinking, and I'm looking down, I'm typing the names out on my phone, thinking, and people must be driving past me thinking he needs to watch where he's going. And I didn't see the concrete bollards and went arse over tit, as it were. And it wasn't the great, but I still answered the Gimme 5, so my dedication to it didn't wane. But I do. People must think I'm mad because I gave up the walking part because of falling over. I thought I'll just stand still. Yeah, but when it's like -2 and you stood there in a pair of shorts and a thin coat doing the Gimme 5 for 10-15 minutes, people must think he is mad, absolutely mad. But it did hurt. My pride took a little bit of a battering, but it was dark, nobody saw it, so it's not the worst thing I've done on my walks, let me tell you that one. So
the trouble is, Ben, no one knows you're doing the Gimme 5. They just see a bloke with a thin coat and a pair of shorts in winter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the thing is, did you name, even though you fell over, did they read you out? Did they read it out?
They did, yeah. Because there was another Ben. There was a Benjamin, which is obviously my full name as well. But there was the two of us, and I used to like getting him before he got in with his 5. So
bit of competition.
It's my one challenge of the week. It was my one challenge of the week. So.
Brilliant, absolutely superb. Right, we'll come back very shortly. We got a last subject before we finish off the night. We've got some amazing kits from Covcept. He's given us permission to use them, and we're going to have a look at those in just a sec. But Claudio, a few questions first. There's a very interesting one from Rich Overson, I think.
I'll go down to that. I'll get those. We should have said that earlier.
Start it for you. There
we go. Selling Tom Bayliss for 2.1 million wasn't important as Gus and Vic for this journey has allowed the club to get to the League One that won the league. This is true.
There you go.
Have you read this one? 34 years old, grown up people supporting Arsenal or Man United. It's so good to see the resurgence, especially younger fans only loyal to the one club.
Yeah, well, my partner's son, Nicky, he was, when I first met her, he was a Manchester United fan. He isn't anymore.
Wow, I've got my youngest coming back down here. Apparently she's going to come and live with us after uni, and her boyfriend's coming as well to live here as well. And he's a Charlton Athletic supporter, even though he's from Salford because his dad's from Charlton. And Jessica said, I don't think it'll take much for you to persuade him to support Cov. It's a bit awkward since we're playing them this season.
I was quite persuasive. I threatened to leave him outside in the cold. So
he wouldn't affect him. He plays ice hockey.
Claudio, if that happens, then you're going to lose your studio.
It's no, we've got plenty of bedrooms.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you got 10 bedrooms.
Yeah. In the east wing, let alone the west wing, and
I forgot he's got 10 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Silly me.
I thought I'd been kicked out then. Right. Pagagon says, I think because you've got chance of winning games in the Championship makes it a more attractive proposition. I think it does. P. Lowell says, we don't even need promotion or be in a Premier League mainstay. Just lots of memories, trips to Wembley, last-minute match winners like we've seen in the past few years. That will create fans for life. And he also says, Ben, time to step up the Sky Blues Bangkok chapter.
Well, it's not technically Bangkok. It's Nubon Lampu, which is in the northeast of the country. Yeah, exactly. There will be a whole family of... I'm literally sat in my spare room. I haven't got 10 like you, Claudio, in this room. There's a boxes in front of me filled with Coventry merchandise, which is all coming over with us.
Sorry, who's done a poo in Thailand?
Yeah. Trust me, if I eat a dodgy prawn, it will be me.
Lee Beckett says, I won't swap the Wolves Man United game for the playoffs. Jump to... sorry. The comments are weird because you click on someone and all of a sudden it just jumps to the other end. And I've lost that one completely, which is typical.
We have done better with Dom Hyam, I think. So.
Do that.
Always watching you guys. Claudia, Vic, Jack, Miles, etc. Great chat. Cheers, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
That doesn't help me because I don't know where I am now.
I'm trying to find that one that you just lost.
Well, I'll go here because we've got so many comments. The only problem, this is from Dan, the only problem I can see in the future is Doug losing patience because we've lost 4 or 5 times in the playoffs. Well, it's up to Doug then to give Frank the ammunition to go and get those players that we need. I don't think is that much of a miracle worker. You need players of quality as well.
It's like the fine margins that Jack was talking about earlier. Like every season, we've only been a little bit away, and each season you could probably just think of a couple of players that if we'd had would have made the difference. And so yeah, and that part of that comes down to Doug, isn't it? Because whoever's the manager can only do so much with the resources they've got.
That's right. And Dan also says, my brother-in-law and his teenage son gave up their Old Trafford season tickets for Cov season tickets 2 years ago. There you go. They sound like sound people. Yeah. Cam says, engagement goes both ways. Over the past few seasons, I've not seen a better connection between the fans and team. And my first game was Norwich City at home in 1975.
I was just a twinkle in my mum and dad's wine glass.
Yeah.
I wasn't even that.
Well, I would have been there. Mark Rainbow, I don't think it's coincidence that the fan upturn started roughly the same time as Dave Boddy joined the club. He cited little things that re-engaged with the fans. It doesn't get enough credit, Dave Boddy. Had to deal with a lot of rubbish. Mark Cunningham, the noise, the songs, the camaraderie. Why wouldn't you want to be part of the Sky Blue Army? Would have done better with Dom Hyam. Would we have done? I don't know. No. Also, did anyone see Michael Rose released by Stoke 2 times? Robbins has let him go now. He probably didn't invite him to his wedding, did he?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we pick up any frees. I see, is it John Swift's been released by West Brom, hasn't I?
That'd be a good pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny with him. I really wanted him when West Brom signed him. I'm not so bothered anymore. I feel like we've moved past that. Anyway, I mean, I wouldn't say no, but it's not. I wouldn't be as excited as I would have been when I was hoping we were going to sign him when he went to West Brom.
He went swiftly past you, didn't he, Vic?
He did.
Way.
I still do like Elias Chair at QPR. I think he's a good number 10.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was watching the England under 21s last night, and there was this defender at the back that was good. And I thought, oh, maybe we could get him on loan from wherever he is. And so I Googled who he was and where he plays. He's at Liverpool. And I thought, oh, I wonder if they'll want to loan him out this season. And then on Sky Sports earlier, it said he's off to buy Leverkusen.
Oh, yes,
clearly he is good, but he's too good for
Kwanzaa. Is it Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa.
That idea went out the window quickly.
Yeah.
And Steve Paul says, we'll be missing most of the season due to going on a world cruise in January 2026 for 3 months. Still bought my season ticket.
I reckon that's
my dream of world cruise.
I reckon that's who won the Euro Millions Tuesday then.
Yeah.
He's going on Claudio's yacht.
Paul Stratton. My uncle once won a little, is it a yacht? I suppose it is, but it's not like a massive yacht. It fitted in the garage. It was a big garage. You could
Speedboat.
I don't know what it was, but anyway, he won it in a competition.
Bullseye.
Yeah, I was
Dinghy.
going to say was it Bullseye.
It's when we had our first. It's when we had our first pub and we lived in Dudley. Where's he going to use that in Dudley? Paul Stratton. I know.
There's more canals in Birmingham than there is in Venice.
True,
Yeah,
but he wouldn't get his thing anyway. Paul Stratton, everything now is down to Doug. We have all bought into the Sky Blue vision. Doug holds all the cards. Hope he does not let us all down, and this will be the biggest mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go on to our last subject then, because we didn't think we'd be talking this long, but we are. Okay. So Covcept has done some kits. Oh, I like this part of the season. This excites me. So, okay, I'm going to bring some. Well, first of all, let's ask you. Let's ask you, what colour? Now, I know Wayne Littlewood's going to jump in here and he's going to say, not a yellow shirt. What colour do you think we're going to go with away this year, Ben?
Oh, I would like to go yellow. I like the yellow. I always, as a kid, had the away shirts. That was always my thing. I always loved the away shirt. I always loved that 1987-88 away shirt, which they've re-released. So I'd like them to go yellow. I do like the black. Would we want to go brown? Or something completely hijinks and go pink?
Oh, no.
Looks good with
No.
pink.
No. No.
No.
No. Look at West Brom when they wore pink. Now have a word with you.
Yeah. As long as it's not grey. I wasn't a great fan of the grey away kit. Too many Man United at Southampton things for that one. I always think you should have a bright colour because your eye picks you out better. If it's yellow, your eye attracts quicker to yellow. So if you're a footballer, that kit, because I think Manchester United and that have people who will actually do this research into kit colours, so they know the optimum, some science stuff.
They do research in players, never mind kit colours.
Yeah, and managers.
Yeah, exactly. Now I was talking to someone. Was I looking to? Was it you, Claudia? I was talking to you about kits the other day. Didn't I say to you I'd like us to have brown?
It wasn't me.
Oh, it must have been Will, my son. Must have been my son. I don't know. But Vic, we'll come to you. What do you reckon this year?
Either yellow, like Ben said, or green.
Green. Okay. Jack?
I think I would like to see a yellow kit. I don't think we've had one in a while, and I don't own a yellow kit, so that'd be different to me. I do, however, think it might be brown. And every photo I've seen, I don't care what anyone says, all of these photos of the brown kits I see look awful. Looks terrible. Doesn't matter whether it's a concept one, a re-release one, or even the original. I just think it looks crap. It looks like the goalmouth of the Rico did 10 years ago. It's just shocking. I can't stand them, and I really hope it doesn't come back. But I've got this fear that it will.
I can't see it coming back. I think it'll be.
Well, we've had
yellow.
Well, we've had yellow and blue when Hummel first signed back with us.
Or not white. I don't want white because
It's not
Which
white.
is
no.
guarantee you spill something down it the first day you buy it.
We just had
not
white
that
and we
way.
just had black. We've had two-tone recently. We've had a purple one recently. We've had a green and black stripes twice. And we've had a pink
red
and
and blue
navy checks.
Yeah.
And a red and blue stripe. So yellow's the obvious one out that hasn't been around for a while. And I'd be up for that.
Right. Okay. Okie doke. Claudio.
I'd go yellow.
Green, red, and white.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
No.
What you've got
Black
on now,
and white stripes like Juventus.
yeah, even better. What you got on now with sky blue instead of the royal blue, I think will look cool. I think. with the yellow and sky blue trim. But also, I wouldn't mind something like a deep scarlet.
What about like this? It's my new Japan kit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've got that one as well.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
They
it's
do one
nice.
with a samurai on as well. Japan do
they've
good kits.
I've got one with a dragon on, and I've got one with the whole of Tokyo on it.
Yeah, I've got that one as well. And I've got the manga one with all the manga stuff on it.
These
There's
Japanese
one with
kits.
there's one with a Supra on now as well.
Oh, is there?
So it's Supra, yeah, I want that one. Unless they're going to put a Honda on it, then I'll definitely get that one. So go on. So yellow then, Claudio.
Yeah, yellow or a deep scarlet, a sort of deep red. So you could wear that.
Okay.
It look good with jeans.
Right. Okay. Well, let's have a look at some of these. Now, Ben, I don't know if you've seen us do this. We did this last season. We're going to score these shirts. Okay. So, Jack, would you mind taking notes of who gets the most votes, please? So we're going to score them out of 10. This is what we do, Ben. And this is Covcept. He's brilliant. I'll just get in touch with him. He says, yes, use them. Other people use his photos and cut his name out of them, which is a bit naughty. But I always ask permission if we can use them. And we do get permission off him, which is great. Right, first two. I quite like this one on the left.
Oh,
there you go. So this is Covcept. He's on Twitter, he's on Facebook and everything. He's absolutely brilliant at these. I quite like this one on the left because I think this reminds me of the ASIC shirt with Kevin Gallagher scoring a cracking goal wearing this particular shirt. And I think I had this when I was similar design. I think I was 18, I think I was, and I got it for my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. We'll come to you, Victoria, first. The one on the left, give it a score out of 10.
6.
6. Do you like that one?
It's okay on the left. I'm just sort of like I'm going 6 because I feel like there'll be ones I like more. So I've got to pitch it right, and it's okay, but it's not. I don't think it'll be my favourite.
Okay. And what about the one on the right?
I actually really like the one on the right. I really like that one. For an away shirt, I'm going to give that a 9.
Oh, okay. Claudio.
I reckon the sky blue one, a bit like Vicky, is 6, and I do like I'm going to give that an 8 for the purple one.
We're going to be here all night if we go at this pace.
No, we're not. Of course, we're not. Ben, there ain't many. Ben,
I will go the sky blue one. I do really like it. Brings back images of Nuddy scoring against Villa with that little throwback to it. I'm going to give it a 7, and I'm going to give the other one. Can we have half points?
No.
I could give the other one 8. I do like it. It does look like a screensaver, though. That's the only thing.
Jack?
I'm going with a 4 with the one on the left. I'm not a fan. I don't like the white and the navy. It just doesn't work for me. And the one on the right, it does look a bit like a novelty kit, not really a match kit. As a novelty, I love it. I think if that was our third kit and we were actually playing in it, I'd be a bit like, ugh. A training kit would be all right. But I do like it, but I hate it at the same time. I'll go 7.
What about goalkeeper shirt?
Oh, now as a goalie shirt, I'd give that a 9.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Goalie shirt. So I'm going 6 for the one on the left. I like the pattern. The pattern is like the yellow one from 87, 88, Ben. You know, the one that you like? I like that one as well. That's got those little chevrons in there. I think that looks really cool. And the purple one, I think if that's a goalkeeper shirt all day long, it's got to be a 9.
We did do some good goalie shirts.
Okay, next two. Here we go. Yeah, really good, the goalie shirts. Okay, next ones. Here you go. So we've got the blue and brown. Right then. We'll come to you first, Claudio.
I like the brown. It reminds me of a galaxy. ice cream or Magnum. A Magnum, yeah. That's a big 9 for me. I like a bit of chocolate. And the sky blue one, that's a 7.
Okay. Ben?
The sky blue one, a little bit Aztec-y. I'll give that one a 7. I really like that brown one. That is sweet. So I'm going to give that one a big fat 9.
Okay,
and you can spill anything
Victoria.
down that and it won't show up.
Unless it's bleach.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Victoria.
It's weird actually, because I was with Jack earlier thinking I definitely didn't want a brown shirt, but I actually quite like that one. So I'm a 6 for the sky blue one and an 8 for the brown one.
Okay, right. I'm going here for the brown one. I'm going 10, and for the blue one, I'm going 5. Jack, have we got yours?
I think the blue one, if the colours were tweaked a little bit to be a little bit lighter, I think that's too dark for us. Then I'd give that an 8 or a 9. I'm going to go 8. The brown one, I mean, like I say, I absolutely hate brown, but of all the brown concept ones I've ever seen, that's not as bad. I'm going to give it a 2.
What? My word. So we're getting loads of comments in on these shirts. We're not going to get time to read all your comments out, but please keep commenting and you can interact with each other. That would be great. Please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe as well on Facebook, YouTube, and also X. It would help the channel out fantastically well. Okay. Whoa, here we go then. So these are obviously either a goalkeeper shirt or a away shirt. I would think the orange is a goalkeeper. The black and green is probably an away jersey or a third jersey. Jack, come to you first on these two.
I'm going to give the one on the left a 3. I don't like it at all. It's just me.
Yeah.
I don't mind the one on the right. I think it looks like an Egypt international kit. I just need a couple of pyramids on the back there. I think it's okay. I'll give it 6. Nothing special.
Okay, Ben.
The one on the left, I do like. I take it it's black. Is it? Is it black or is it deep navy? Deep navy.
I think it's deep navy. I think it's navy. Yeah.
Anything dark. I'm a man of a certain age. So anything that'll help looking me slimmer is always good. I do actually quite like that one, so I'm going to give that one a 5, and I'm going to give the other one. If it was a goalkeeper shirt, 5 again. They're both kind of meh. Is the best way I can come up with.
Okay, right, Claudio.
Yeah, 3 for the orange one. Not keen. 2 wishy-washy, and the other one as a walk-around shirt, I'd give that a 7.
Okay, Victoria.
6 for the blue one and 5 for the orange one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, they're the worst two so far.
I like that, Vicky. I like that. That's pretty good. That is, I reckon. This one on the left should be a third shirt. I'm going to give it a 6, and the orange one, I'm not too sure. I think it's you've been tangoed, isn't it? Really. So I'm going to give that a 1.
You look like a bowl of Doritos in that.
Yeah,
well, no, that's the problem, isn't it? Okay, couple more then.
It could be really good when you see it in person. You know, like certain shirts, you look and you think, "Oh, I don't like that," and then you see it. Like the orange one could be that sort of shirt where, like, it could be much better in the flesh.
No, I think Stevie Wonder would reject that one.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Then next
couple of times this season.
Ah.
Ooh.
Now. Okay. Claudio, come to you first. I know what you're going to give this one on the left, I think, because I know you like collars.
Yeah, that's great. I like the sky blue, and it's in the clouds, of course. Me being Claudio, so that's a big fat 10 for me. I like that, and I like the other one. Yeah, the purpley one. That's a 9. I like that one.
Oh, okay.
You need a contrast, don't you, between
I think
home
those
and away?
lines. Yeah, I think them lines are probably sound waves of the crowd singing, couldn't they? Yeah, see, something in there before that. Vicky.
The sky blue one, I'd give it 8. And then the
Yeah.
stripy one, 7.
Oh, okay, I like it. Jack.
I'm going with a 9 on the sky blue one. There's something about the navy blue that's, I don't know, on the arms and the triangles on the shoulders. I don't know, but it's a lovely kit. And the digital looking one, I'm going to give it a 6. Not for me.
Okay, Ben.
Well, I'm the opposite end of the spectrum to Claudio because I think all football shirts with collars should be banned. Not a fan. The blue one's a little bit. When I first looked, I thought it looks a bit like the Man City kit from a couple of seasons ago. But I do actually quite like it. I'm going to give it a 7. The other one I really like, the blue sound wavy one. I'm going to give that one an 8.
An 8. Okay, now I'm going to show you some pictures of the players wearing a couple of these kits.
Hang on, Miles. You didn't rate them.
Oh no, sorry. Okay, the sky blue 1-9. I don't. If it didn't have the clouds and it had something else, I think if it didn't have the clouds and had the chevrons like the yellow shirt from 87, 88
Yeah.
in there, I think that might just sway it. And it was like a bit shiny with those chevrons in it. It was sort of, you know what I mean? Like that 1987, 88 shirt. It was had a like shine to it, didn't it? So I think that would be nice. And the purple one, I quite like this purple one. I think it's quite cool. I would probably put it as a 3rd kit though again. And I wish we would go down the sleeves with the chevrons all the way down. I don't like this 4 on the top. I think it's a bit boring. So I'm going to give that a 7, purple one. Now I'm going to see if this changes your mind on a couple of the shirts. I've got one last one before after these two, and I think they're going to be the best ones. So does this change your mind? There you go. Now, does that change your mind?
Yeah, the blue one. Yeah, the blue one. It makes, I don't know. Bobby Thomas in that shirt. It kind of looks a little bit
odd.
Yeah, it's almost like not Chesterfield, but it almost feels like a League 1 kit, League 2 kit.
Vanarama.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Is your vote going down then, Ben?
It's what was it originally on that one?
You got a 7 on that, Ben.
I'm going to take that down now. I've seen it, and it could just be Bobby Thomas, who my partner has a liking for, but he's ruined it for me a little bit there, Bobby. So it's going down to a 5. I have a picture of my partner looking longingly into Bobby Thomas's eyes. So. And Grimes, he is literally a coat hanger there, isn't he? He's wearing it well. So that's staying where it is. That's a good looking kit. I like that one.
Yeah, purple always gives a mixed.
Claudio, has it changed your mind or are you sticking?
No, I'll stick with my my figures. I do like the purple one. That looks good as a kit like that when you see it on.
Okay. Vicky?
I think I'm about the same really because I preferred the purple one already. I think I scored that one higher, and I still feel like I like that one better when you can see it on the players. I'm a bit worried though because you know how we know that Dawn's a bit crazy, Claudio. She's got a thing for Bobby Thomas too, and there's going to be trouble now that she's going to be fighting Ben's partner over Bobby Thomas.
Yeah.
Jack, would you change your mind?
Well, I think I've got a thing for Bobby Thomas if he's going to score 96th minute worldies again. I'm definitely going to have a thing for Bobby Thomas, but he looks like he's had a few beers over this post-season. It doesn't look like that's fitting him very well. I've taken mine from a 4 to a 3.
Yeah, I don't like the white stripe panel and then it goes into a blue stripe panel. You like that continuation that goes down.
Yeah.
Purple, I'm taking it up to an 8 from a 7. So
we've turned into string engines, Hammer.
What did I do on these two? Just quickly remind me.
You've got 6 and 9.
Okay, so the 6 is going down to a 5. And as I said, I think it's a goalkeeper shirt. So seeing it on an outfield, I'd drop it to a 7.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Harsh.
I think it's a goalkeeper shirt. Right. Last two, and I'm going to show you the last 3 shirts, which I think you're going to love them.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. Are you sticking, Vicky, or are you changing?
What did I score that sky blue one before?
I've got to find what order I've done them. Vicky, you've put that as a 6, the sky blue, and an 8 on the brown.
I'm going up with the sky blue. I like that. That looks better
Yeah.
on. So I think maybe like about an 8 or a 9 on that now. Brown probably sticking the same.
Yeah.
Right, Claudio.
I'm sticking with what I said.
Okay. Ben.
Well, to be fair, anything looks good on Jack Redoni with his smouldering eyes. But do you know that blue kit with it on? Do you know what it reminds? It looks. Remember the kit we had a couple of seasons ago with the Phoenix in the background? It looks like that kit. Somebody's actually just rubbed the Phoenix out with their hand.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. So that.
It's like one of the carpets that you drag your hand the other way and it looks a different colour.
Yeah, it looks like someone's done that. But the brown kit looks, I mean, Kitchen is a 70s throwback centre back, so it's staying as a 9. That looks like I could dribble down it and nobody would know.
Okay. Jack, sticking.
Well, I gave this brown kit a 2 because I thought it looked all right, but I think it looks worse on Kitchen than it did off, so I'm dropping to a 1. Don't like it. I just don't like brown.
No way.
And I've taken that blue one up. I said it needed to be a slightly lighter colour, but on Jack it looks great. So I'm going up to a 9 on that.
It just makes him look really sweaty. I want a global hypercolour t-shirt.
If he's going to score 10 and assist 15 again, he can look as sweaty as he wants.
I'll tell you what, with those smouldering eyes, he can be a sweaty, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going up 1 on the blue one. I can't remember. Did I say 6?
You put 5.
Oh, I'm going to 6.
Yeah.
And the brown one, I said 10, didn't I?
You did.
Right. I'm going down 1 because I think it needs brown shorts and the white stripe at the side, not white shorts.
What, just in case he boos himself when he goes in for a slide tackle?
I just think it needs to be continuous, like Ben was saying about the other shirt before. It needs to have the white going down the side of the shorts and then the brown shorts. If you're going to do brown kit, you got to do it all brown and the white bit down the side. There you go. Right then, are you ready for the last 3? This is it, and this is the end of the show. Then we've just got a couple of announcements, and then this is the end of the show because we've gone way over. I never thought we'd talk like this.
You can blame me for that, Miles. Blame me.
No, it's not you. It's Claudio, mate. It's always him.
Yeah, I do want to say.
Right, the last 3. I think these are the 3 best ones. There you go.
Do you know the one with the cross on it looks like a t-shirt that someone's bought from Sports Direct and worn it on a Spanish holiday in about 2004. But the other 2 are nice. I like the other 2. The yellow one, that is a 10 all day long. I like the badge, the colour of the badge. Yeah. I'm not sure on the other one.
Okay.
But the other 2, the blue one and that, I do like them. They've got the shade in, the colours right on that one.
Okay,
and no collar.
Okay, so what, 10 for the yellow?
10 for the yellow and an 8 for the blue.
And the black?
No, that's a 1.
Okay, right. Claudio?
I gave a 9 on the blue, a 9 on the yellow, and about a 3 on the black. It looks like a cycling shirt.
Okay. Right, yeah. Jack?
I'm going to go an 8 on the blue. I think it's very nice, but I think the other one that Redoni was wearing was nicer. I like the yellow. I wanted the yellow. I'm not sure this is perfect, in my opinion. I'm going to give it an 8, but I do like it. Bobby Thomas has just come back from an EDL rally, hasn't he, with that shirt on? I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't mind the colour ideas, but it just looks a bit right wing for my liking. I'm going to give it a 1.
I don't know what this. Yeah, I don't get what does the cross link to Coventry? I'm not too.
It's the cathedral.
The yellow
I think.
one, I like the sizing of the sponsorship in the middle, and it's kind of got that faded sort of retro 80s feel to it.
The sponsorship looks massive on it because De Silva's only 3'7".
Well, the
Well,
shirt
yeah,
looks-
there is that. There is that. It can't be as bad. If you have a look at the picture of the original lineup for the Sky Sports advert with Lee Hurst on, the Peugeot badge is down by his waist. It's so low down, that Peugeot sponsorship logo. It's ridiculous.
Jack,
That's not bad.
That looks good.
what do you reckon, Jack?
I've done my voting on that.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Victoria? Oh, she's gone. I'll give you my voting. So the blue one, I'm giving a 9. The yellow one, I'm giving a 9. And now you lot have said that about the black one. I'm going to give it a 5.
Did you like that one, did you?
I did quite like that one because, look, I think that looks quite cool.
No, I don't know.
It's different. It's different.
It's a bit like they could have wore it on Escape to Victory.
That's probably why I like it. Victoria, you didn't give us yours, lovely.
Yeah, sorry. I like the sky blue one. I'd give that an 8. I like the yellow one, but I also feel like it just needs something. I don't know if it was Jack or Ben who just said that, but well, this looks better like that. Yeah, 8 probably.
8, okay.
The
And
Bobby
the black
Thomas one's weird. I actually like the colours, but I don't like the design so much.
Yeah.
So
It
if
looks
you
like
see
he's
all those
working
colours in a different way,
Yeah,
I'd
it
be
looks like
happy
he's
with
working
that.
St. John's ambulance, doesn't he? Sort of coming in to rescue Ben Shee from another injury.
Okay, so let's get the winner then, Jack. Which was the winner?
The winner undoubtedly is that yellow kit. We've got an 8.8 average. That yellow one for De Silva's a winner. We've got a almost joint second place with the Asante blue one that was just on, and the Claudio shirt, the one with all the clouds on it.
Yeah.
They both got about an 8.5. So yeah, that cloudy one, yeah. And then in the third place, it's the purple one that Grimesy was wearing.
Oh, that one.
Right, stick the Grimesy photo on. That's got an 8.
Oh, wow.
And the two worst, the very first blue one, that one that Bobby's wearing, that's an average of 5. Oh no, the orange keeper one's got a 3.8.
Oh, okay.
And the other one that Bobby Thomas was modelling, the black one's got a 2.8. So Bobby maybe lay off the pies for a few weeks and
He maybe had to woo your missus, but he's not going to woo you in a kit.
Right then, just a couple of announcements. And we kept everyone so long tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Please don't give it to teeth in. Please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It really helps the channel grow. And the more we get subscribing, the better the channel will become. And hopefully the more professional we will become without any internet issues. We might all be in one room one day. So please give us a like and subscribe. It would really help the channel. And if you haven't already started yet, please, go and buy a season ticket. We're nearly at 24,000 season tickets. Unbelievable for the mighty Sky Blues. And this is very important. Keaton's Day, 12th of July. Get it in your diary. It's at the RFC Coventryans CV6 4AF. It's a fun day. They're going to have stalls there. They're going to have football matches. There's got live music. They've got DJs on. It's £1 to get in. All proceeds go to the charities at the bottom of the poster. I was at the Old Shepherd last weekend DJing, and they had the bike ride from there last weekend. I was sat talking to Keaton's dad. I've met him a few times now, and it's just wonderful to have a chat with him. And we just talk about all sorts of different stuff. Dave Kay was there, and we had a great chat. I'll tell you next week about the story Dave Kay told me about a monkey. Can't tell you any more than that. I'll tell you next week. And we've got a special show next week for everybody. Haven't we, Jack?
Yeah, well, I suppose we will have to address the fixtures that are released on Thursday, but we're going to do a Gogglebox style episode. So all of us on the panel are going to pick a good game and a bad game from the league season only, so not the playoffs and not the cup competitions. And we're just going to have a bit of a watch along and react, and hopefully get your reactions in the comments as well. So tune in next week. Send your comments in with what your reactions were to specific moments or goals we've conceded, and we'll watch along and react with you.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we will be doing that, and it'd be as I say, we'll do the fixtures first at the start of the show, and then obviously we will then go into our Gogglebox thing, which is going to be quite fun. Because I don't know how it's going to work. I suppose we're all going to be at the side of the screen watching highlights or something like that. We're going to sort it out. Also, I'm going to have some exciting news. Won't be next Thursday. It will be the Thursday after. So there is some exciting news coming this way for you out there who watch this show. So please stay tuned. And I mean, it's exciting. You're going to love it. It is brilliant. Ben, have you enjoyed yourself this evening? Thank you so much for staying with us.
I have enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Hope
Brilliant.
I've been insightful with my limited amount of knowledge on Peter and Love scoring in 90-91 against Villa.
You've been brilliant, mate. You've been absolutely brilliant. And listen, you're more than welcome to come on anytime during the season. If you want to come on and join us, just drop us. You got my details. You got Claudio's. Everyone's. You can get hold of us on Facebook. Just let us know when you want to come on during the season. We'll squeeze you in on one of the shows. You're more than welcome. And thank you for spending so long with us.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Brilliant stuff. And Claudio, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, and if you've watched this, go and watch the Sky Blue History podcast with myself and Jim Brown.
Yeah, it's the part 2 of
record transfers.
Record transfers, that's the one. Vicky, you enjoyed yourself? Yeah, you're on silent.
Yeah, good stuff.
Brilliant, excellent stuff. And Jack, thank you very much for sorting out the stats about Miguel. And if anyone else finds anything else about him, let us know, and we can put on next week's show. So next week we'll be back then, fixtures, and we're doing our Gogglebox style show. So we'll watch a few highlights, and we're going to just talk through them all and everything else. And then in a couple of weeks, I've got massive news. I've just got final details. But I'll see you all next week. Hope you've all had a fantastic time. Please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, and a massive big play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.